2009, they rode the Mangini Express, Rex did, right to the AFC Championship game. Then they built upon that and got to the 2010 championship game. And then it came. The worst offseason in New York Jets history. These are bold predictions because we don't have anything to go on, right? We have bologna. We have a bunch of bologna sandwiches, and we're taking one and saying one of these is prosciutto and fresh mozzarella and roasted peppers, but they all look like bologna. So we just got to guess. We have to guess. Oh, this is the one. If it's not, well, I guess we eat bologna. Like when a Jet player leaves, I want him to fail. When Sean Ellis, I loved Sean Ellis. When he went to the Patriots, I hated his face. Darrelle Revis, I hated him. And I wanted, when we traded Darrelle Revis to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off that knee surgery, we played them game 1 that year, the following year. I think we should have thrown at Revis every single play. It should have opened with it, and we should have tested that knee right off the gate. And he would have been unable to handle it because, as we know now, with hindsight, he was not 100%. He was on the field. We could have exploited him and made that trade look even better. That's how I roll. What's happening, everybody? Look at all you maniacs in the chat. I'm still blown away that you guys are in here like an hour and a half before we start, asking questions like, anybody here? And then somebody will say, yeah. Like, what the? I don't know, man. You guys blow me away. Every single week I see this shit, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I want to thank you guys for being in here. This will be our final night together. It has a sweet, sweet sadness to it, doesn't it? As good of a time as we've had, man, everything has to come to a close. And it makes me a little bit sad. But if it means that the draft is coming, I don't give a shit. I'll push you guys to the side so we can get to the meat of these sandwiches that we've been talking about. And then we'll do one next week. Don't tell anybody. I'm probably going to just say fuck it and come right back. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but have a sneaking suspicion I'm not going to stop. So anywho, I have a special night for you guys, man. We have an awesome group of people coming in. A lot of you probably know them, but some of you might not, and that's what excites me. If there's any possibility of me introducing you to these folks, I want to be able to do that. It's so cool, and they're all over the country. They're a bunch of crazy people that are like literally scattered everywhere. Like I'm in Virginia, they're in California. I think one might be in Guam, if I remember correctly. We'll see how that goes, but let's start. I'm going to bring on there are 3 of them. So I'm just going to start and go from there, from left to right. Let's say hello to the entire goddamn Jets show crew. And we'll start with John Saporano. How you doing, man?
I'm good, GreenBean. How are you, man?
I'm in the best mood. John, I took a nap and everything. I nap. I nap these days. I guess getting old is real. I look forward to a nap. And
listen, man, I love a good nap. I love a good nap. I'm having coffee right now. I don't even know what the hell's wrong with me. So
that's right. And where are you? Are you in California?
Yeah, I'm in Los Angeles.
So you're in Los Angeles drinking coffee. So what is it? It's midnight. Or no, it's 9. What the fuck is going on? Are we back?
It's 7. It's 7.
There you go. It's not midnight or 9.
Neither one of those. No.
Yeah. So, all right, let's say hello to the next one. Again, left to right, we're going to welcome on Kimberly Cantoni from Staten Island. How you doing, Kimberly?
Everybody. I am great. I am so excited for the final mock draft. It's draft week. I know I'm excited. I can tell everybody in the chat right now is super excited. So I can't wait to have some fun tonight.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm glad you're here. So you are in Staten Island. Is that is correct? Not just from Staten Island, but you're in Staten Island.
Born and raised, currently residing in. Basically, I've been here my whole life. Staten Island. Yes.
There you go. There you go. So a lot of our chat are going to be from Staten Island. Maybe you guys can talk about coffee shops and the like. Who knows? Who knows where the night will take us? Coffee shops.
I did have a cup of coffee before we jumped on here. So, I mean, it is 10 o'clock here in New York. So I might be the crazier one having coffee at like 9 o'clock. But you know I'm ready to go.
Kimberly, I'm on number 2 of these things already. And
Jesus, GreenBean, that is excessive right there.
I can actually see somebody on Derek from Tottenville High School. What's up?
There you go. Look at Derek F. from Tottenville. Who knew? Who knew? I didn't know that, Derek. You never told me. You never told me, you bastard. So let's bring in the third of the crew. We're going to say hello to Max Antonucci. This is the one from Guam, I think it is. Here he comes.
That's right.
What's up,
I'm
Max?
coming in live from Guam, coming in hot. How you doing, brother?
Oh, I'm in a good mood, man. I'm glad that you're here, dude. Really. Thank you.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm actually 2 rooms away from John because we're roommates. We just split this up so we would have our own screen.
So not Guam.
Yes, Los Angeles. But I'll be back. I'm moving back to Jersey in 2 weeks. So Staten Island, I'll be visiting you.
Nice.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. Where are you guys? Where are you guys in LA? I used to live in a van in LA for a year.
We're in Sherman Oaks.
Yeah, I had friends in Sherman Oaks. So that way, isn't that the valley though? Is that the valley?
Yeah.
Please.
It's like right at the bottom of the hills, but like the less desirable side of the hills. So it still feels like kind of cool. But if anyone is from around here, they know you're not really doing great.
Right. You're from the right. Exactly. That's where the way we'd say that's where we start. That's where we start off is over there. Right. Yeah.
Yes.
So I also lived in Woodland Hills. I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to come right out and start talking about real shit. But when I was in LA, like I said, I lived in my van, but I was a comedian. So a New York comedian. So I went out to LA and I was doing my whole thing and we shot a pilot for Comedy Central and all that. But the job that I got, Hustler Films gave my little comedy group $32,000 to write a comedy porno. So that's what I was doing. And I actually functioned as the production manager as well. So I was the guy that got to bring in the actresses and fill out tax forms, which is very sexy.
That's
I don't know
awesome.
if you know that.
Wow.
GreenBean, I didn't know you were a comic.
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
That's awesome, dude. I knew I felt a kinship to you.
See,
Yeah.
I know. I crept
Me
on
and Max
you.
are both comics.
Yeah, I knew Max was. I didn't know you were, John. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
There you go. You do have that about you, John. Honestly, you do. You do. One of my favorite places was on that side. Well, I think I lose track of where it was, but I was a regular at the Ha Ha Cafe for a while over there. I don't even know if it's still there. It's been a long time, but I was
North
also,
Hollywood?
yeah. And they would, I don't know if it's still there, but also, I used to do all the clubs out in LA, but LA was a rough time. I also, my comedy career ended because of a little thing we call heroin. And that's what, how that shit goes,
I'll do it.
Yeah, it was a diet. I tried to lose weight and it took a left turn.
Yeah. It's a tale as old as time in comedy.
Yeah, man. Shit happens, doesn't it?
For sure, absolutely.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah. So this is going to be a good night. I'm really psyched. We have a large portion of our crew in the chat as well. I want to say hello to KSE. What's up, buddy? C. Wally's here. Cravat was just making fun of me on my other channel, Full-Time Coaster Tour. That was good. I appreciated that, man. Thomas Hewitt's here. J.E., Matt L., James DiPietro. What'd I say? C. Wally's here. Yeah, man. Thomas Hewitt, what's up, buddy? John Post, hopefully, I don't see it, but I hope I gave you moderator status. Let me know if you don't have that. I'll try to fix it. Alex Cotter, what's up, buddy? Alex was our contest winner and was able to do a live first round mock with us. And he was he was a trading maniac. So he knows what he's doing out here. Markopoulos, Angel Garcia, what's up, man? Rusty Spooner's back. Liam Riordan, am I Amish if I don't like social media? That's an interesting one. We'll see what you have to say.
I think it just makes you normal, man. I think you're just normal. I don't like social media either. I just have to do it. I have no choice.
Well, right. Do Amish like social media? I don't even know. I know they build excellent rocking chairs. And butter. I buy Amish butter, right? You know that, like, it's like a big tube of butter. Yeah. It's like a block, in wax paper. See, I like that. Something rustic about a huge, oversized 5-pound block of butter and wrapped in wax paper.
Remember that movie when Harrison Ford goes undercover as a cop in Amish country to solve a murder? You remember that movie?
No.
Oh, man.
What was that?
You got to, I think it's called Witness. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Max, that movie's fun.
Yeah, I think it's something Witness or just Witness.
Yeah.
I'll check into that, man. No, that sounds delightful to me. I like it. So Frank Markopoulos audiobooks, he's a voiceover guy who's here every week. I love having you here, Frank. He always has a lot to say. He says the Amish are hard workers. Raise a barn in 3 days, they will. So, Frank, I just want to know how you know that. Like, where is the foundation for this knowledge that you have? It's pretty good. All right, so let's do this before they, this chat is really great, really supportive, but they will turn on us if we keep this shit going. As nice as this is, and they're liking it, in 1 minute they're gonna go, "Hey, assholes, we're here for a mock," and they'll all leave at the same time. It's funny. I don't know how they do that, but they figure out how to leave. Like 100 of them will leave in 1 minute. I think they all talk. So we're going to go get through this thing. If there's anybody I didn't say hello to, it's only because there are a lot of you in here. But I do see Anders. I do see David Goodstein and Alex Cotter, like I said. But we'll talk to all of you throughout. Again, we're going to try our best to see your comments. As we're doing the mock, we're going to try to read everybody's comment and see what you got to say and your votes and everything. In the event you want to make sure your comment is heard, I will let you know the super chat option is there. If you do that, I greatly appreciate it. No pressure or anything like that, but that's the way to guarantee your comment gets seen. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and we're going to pull up this mock. Now, the first question that I have for the chat is, we have been hearing about the Jets being willing to trade or actively shopping CJ Mosley. Let me get that comment off there so I don't have it on your face there, Max. The Jets are actively shopping CJ Mosley. So would we like to start the mock with a CJ Mosley trade for a 3rd or 4th round pick? What do you guys think? Yes or no in the chat. What do you guys think? John, what do you think? Should we start this mock with a fictitious fantasy trade of CJ Mosley for a 3rd round pick?
I think that would be a good place to start. I think it's fun to add that pick into the mix. And I think it's real possible that the Jets pull the trigger on a trade like that. When I first heard it, I wasn't for it. I was like, look, let's get Mosley on the field. They need talent. He's got talent. But, the more I think about it, these guys didn't bring him in, and he hasn't played football now in 2 full years. So I think a trade is real possible for CJ Mosley. Interesting.
Kimberly, what do you think? Should we start our mock draft with a trade?
No, I'm going with the majority of the chat here. Sorry, John. Love you, bro. Kind of just scares me a little bit. Let's just go get our QB and keep on moving. That's all I have to say. Yeah.
Max, what do you think, man?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. I say you keep CJ Mosley just because he was out a year. I'm sure a lot of people are just ready to get rid of him at this point, but no, absolutely bring him in. Don't trade him.
Interesting. Well, John, just so you know, I would be with you. I'm all for it, but the chat is overwhelmingly telling us to go screw with this idea. So we're going to go ahead and just push that aside. It was a nice try. Okay. John, I'm with you, buddy. But let me just shut this down here. Okay, guys, so we're going to start the mock. Just to go over the rules again really quick. When we ask you to vote, please only vote one time. When we're asking you to vote for a player or if you want to take a trade, because a lot of the times it moves really fast and we can't keep up, and we'll look at somebody will put 10 votes in there and it's one person and it looks like it's being overweighed toward one side or the other. So try to vote only once. and we'll get this thing going. I think I had another rule, but I have no idea what it was. Okay, so let's start this thing up. Any bets on who the first pick is here?
Kyle Trask.
How funny was that, man? That was ridiculous.
It's a little inside joke between me and GreenBean from earlier.
That was funny. I had no idea what was going on. I was like, all right, just pick Kyle Trask. That's all I care about.
But before you start, GreenBean, I just want to shout out Gitmo Bob said, "How about trading Marcus May? Absolutely not. No. Never. No, never."
Ooh, that's interesting. Gitmo Bob might be referencing a video. I have some people. We all have like little sources here and there, and somebody that I know that is in the organization told me to keep an eye on that trade. So. Interesting. I would probably lean against it as well. I say, hey, man, he's got his franchise tag. We don't need the money. Let's just keep the team together for this year. But I was told if the price is right, Marcus May might not make it to 2021 on the Jets. But Gitmo Bob, I think we're just going to go. We're going to go pure right here. We have our 10 picks, and we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. So I got the Jets picked. I got 7 rounds picked. We'll go at normal speed, and let's draft. Let's see what the Jaguars do. This is a nail biter here. There it is.
Yes.
So let me ask you guys. I already know what my chat is going to say because I do this every week with them. They're going to yell at me for even asking. They already are like, move on. Are you guys in favor of taking Zach Wilson? Is there any other thing that we should consider from your standpoint? Kimberly, what do you think?
Absolutely. Next. Zach Wilson 2, go. Already off the clock. Move on. Next.
Max, what do you think?
Yeah, Zach Wilson for sure. Absolutely. Okay. And I wasn't sold on him at first, but as the, off season went on, I was just like, yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah. John, you in?
I've been in on Zach Wilson for a while. I like Justin Fields, but Justin Fields scares me. I feel like his floor is lower than Zach Wilson's floor. So, I think that there's a chance Zach Wilson might not be the star and the stud everybody thinks he might be, but I think that he won't be a bust. And I think Fields has been bust potential all over him.
Interesting. All right, so let's do this. Chat, I'm not even going to look at you guys because I already know. I know. Look, move on. Come on already. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pick Zach Wilson so we can actually start this thing. Here he comes. We have ourselves a brand new, shiny new quarterback. There he is. Ooh, look, Trey Lance at 3. Look at that, guys. I'm hearing that's more and more likely. That's interesting. There goes. Hey, the Bengals passed Sewell for Jamar Chase. Oh, this is going to be an interesting night. This is crazy already. The PFN simulators all over the place. Ooh, so here we go, guys. We have 3 trade offers. Now, the way we do this goddamn Jet show is we're going to listen to all of the trades, and then we vote either yes and which one you like or no, okay? So, guys, the first trade on deck is the Saints want us to slide back 5 spots. They'll give us pick 105 for that privilege. The Patriots, those bastards, are here asking us to go back to 46 and add next year's 7th for 46, 96, and next year's 2nd. I'm going to tell you guys I won't even allow anybody to take that one. Not good enough. Nope. And then we have the Baltimore Ravens, our good friends, slide back, 4 spots, and they'll give us next year's 2nd. So let's take a look at the chat. Again, chat, if you like one, just say yes and which one. If you don't like it, just say no. Now, Max, if you were to take, do you have any interest in any of these trades?
No, absolutely not. At this point, I think if we hadn't traded up from 23, don't trade back at all. Okay.
John, what do you think?
I think the Ravens trade is the most interesting to me because I like getting a 2nd back. I'm with you. The Patriots trade is absurd, and also they would have to pay a Patriots tax to even try to swap picks. So that to me is nowhere in the ballpark. I don't want pick 105 to move back 3 slots. I'm with Max. I would stay at 23, but the Ravens trade makes me think about it a little bit. It depends on who's there. I see that Vera Tucker's already gone off the board. Creed Humphrey just went before us. So those two guys going off the board plus Newsome makes me think, you know what, if we can get a second pick and move back, because those are three of my guys that I wanted at 23. You know what? So just to do that, I'm going to say let's take the Ravens trade.
Okay, so you're in for the Ravens trade. So let's take a look at the chat. What do you guys think over there? What's going on? Wow, okay, I missed 67 comments. Holy shit. I'm looking. Let's see how it's going over there. Maybe 67. So, all right, let's do this too. I'm going to take a look at the big board and see what we got. Like John just said, it was exactly what I was thinking as well. It looks like Darisaw, Vera Tucker, Creed Humphrey, Greg Newsome, a lot of the guys that we usually consider around this spot, Rashawn Slater, all those guys are gone. So we're going to have to think a little bit out of the box here. But let's take a look. This is their big board. We have Najee Harris sitting there, Rashad Bateman, Travis Etienne, Jamin Davis, a linebacker, Cosme, and a right tackle. Zavin Collins is there. Teven Jenkins is there. That's probably where the chat's going to want to go, if my crystal ball is accurate. So we still got some guys here, but a lot of the guys that we like to take in this spot are gone. So I'm looking over the chat. It looks like overall, I see a couple Ravens, but it looks, maybe you guys see something I'm not. It looks overwhelmingly that the answer is no for the trade. What do you guys think?
Correct. Like a lot of Jenkins. A lot of people want to take Jenkins with this pick. I don't necessarily think that's the wrong choice, by the way, either. I'm bummed that Vera Tucker and Humphrey are off the board.
Yeah, Humphrey would have been my go-to at 23 if he was available.
Absolutely,
I don't want to go running back at 23.
You know, it's funny, right? Because that guy is so good, this Najee Harris character, and I know Etienne is technically he fits our scheme better, but man, is Najee Harris my kind of running back. But right, it just doesn't make sense. It's not where we are in our foundational build here. And I think an offensive lineman is probably the way to go. So it looks like no. So I'm going to push these trades aside. Like I said, I do see a few for the Ravens trade, but it's a handful. So are we in for Teven Jenkins? We can go Teven Jenkins, or if you want to switch sides and go defense, we're looking like Jamin Davis, Zavin Collins, Caleb Farley is on the board, guys. Gregory Rousseau. There's a few players that are slipping that usually aren't here. So what are you thinking? I'm hearing some huffing and puffing. What do you guys got?
That was from me because Caleb Farley is a big player for me. Yeah. Man, I think there's a chance that with the injury, coming off the injury, he may fall and still be there when we pick again at 34. So I think you have to just take Jenkins, especially with the two other big linemen going off the board. But Farley is he's like the 1A for me, but I think it's Jenkins.
Interesting. So C. Wally, I don't know why you were putting a timeout. I thought I disengaged Nightbot. That thing is out of control. It has this little Nightbot has so many views on what's okay and what's not okay. So I'm sorry about that. I think it's like if you put 3 or 4 comments in a row, it thinks you're spamming. So try not to do that. But other than that, I just have to apologize. I'm not sure why that is, C. Wally and I. And I owe you $100. How's that sound? So I'm seeing protect the young quarterback from the liberal Irishman. Gerard Charlotte says take Farley, but overwhelmingly I'm seeing, you know what? Interestingly, it was Teven Jenkins, and I'm seeing a lot of Farleys all of a sudden. Oh, Gitmo Bob says no Farley. Mitt Flair likes Farley. So, all right, so this is what we're doing. We're down to Teven Jenkins and Farley. Pick one of those players, guys, and tell me which one it is, okay? Just one of those two players, because that's the two players that had the most votes, Farley or Jenkins. So what do you guys think? Kimberly, what do you think? If you had to pick from Teven Jenkins or Caleb Farley, who are you going with?
I would go with Jenkins because I think there's just more certainty there. With Farley with the back surgery, it's just you don't know what's going to, there's no crystal ball. You can't predict the future, and you don't know if that's going to backfire going into the season. So I would just go with what's guaranteed, and that's Jenkins for me.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point. And we've been here before with taking an injured cornerback. His name was D. Milliner.
The third degree, always getting burned.
The third degree, yes, sir.
That's great. That's great, man. I don't think I've ever heard that before. I love it. Poor D. Milliner. Oh, God, what a terrible pick. Especially because we just traded Darrelle Revis.
Yeah.
And then we take this injured cornerback with the pick we got for Darrelle Revis. And it's like, talk about adding pressure. You know what I mean? It's like you get rid of one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Obviously the best we've ever had. And you give him to D. Miller and go, "Yep, these are your shoes. Jump in them." He didn't stand a chance.
On the positive side, he couldn't fail any worse. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like he immediately bombed. Like, it wasn't even like, maybe he's going to be good. And he stuck around for like 3 years and we kept hoping he'd be good. He was terrible from Jump Street. So,
yeah. I'm telling you, it really was. He had like one really good game, And what hope? It's like Stephen Hill. One good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So it's looking like Teven Jenkins. I'm going through the chat. I do see a couple Farleys, but it's overwhelmingly Jenkins. So that's the way we're going to go. Our pick 23, we are going to go ahead and grab, let's see where he is, a nice big beefcake for the offensive line. Teven Jenkins coming aboard. Nice. Good job, everybody.
Hey.
Yeah, there goes Cosme. Najee Harris goes to the Ravens. Figures. That's the way that would go. Ooh, look at this trade, everybody. So we're at pick 34. The Baltimore coach, Jesus. It's the Indianapolis Colts offering us, if we slide back 20 picks to 54, they will give us 127 next year's third and fourth. So 3 additional picks. 1 this year. We also have another offer from the Buffalo Bills. They want us to go back to 61, and all we get is their second, and we have to throw in a 7th. I say that's horse shit.
Yeah, no.
Any takers for the Colts?
No,
you guys, no.
Look, they're giving us a boatload of picks, but it's sliding back too far. I mean, for me, 34 is like having another first round pick, and I'm not giving that up to move back 20 spots. We basically have 3 first rounders, and you really got to blow me away for me to make that deal. And it's a fair deal. I think what they're offering is a lot, but I wouldn't make it.
Yeah. How do you guys feel? Kimberly, you feel the same way?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with John completely. Having that 34th pick, it's basically like being in the first round still. And to go back that far, we're here to build in the draft. That's not what our objective is here. So I think we need to keep 34 and move on.
Yeah, like you said, it really is just.
You're muted.
Sorry about that. I was saying, oh man, that was the golden nugget of the night, what I just said. But I'll leave it out in space. But it does look like a first round pick, doesn't it? Number 34. It looks and feels just like. So, Max, are you against the trade as well?
Yeah, listen, we suffered so much embarrassment over the last year. We earned that 34. So, yeah, no, I'm not trading back at all. I was ashamed to go outside and jet green for months. We earned that 34.
Right. That's a good way to look at it, too, man. That pick's ours, damn it. We earned it.
Max, I like that. I like saying, like, the 34 is just, it's like having the number 2 overall pick all over again.
Yeah.
That's like the most obvious thing to say, but you're like, no, that's our pick. We're keeping it. I don't care.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So here we go. I know, right? Look, M.I. Amish says GreenBean was just sharing his secret to world peace, but I was on mute. So we'll just have to. Sorry, guys. I had the solution. So here's what we're looking at. Here's the big board. Okay, this is the big board. They're telling us now. Remember, you got to take PFN's ratings with a grain of salt, of course. But they're saying there's a safety up top, but Gregory Rousseau, for the first time in a long time, is sliding back into the second round. We also have wide receiver Terrace Marshall to go with. Kadarius Toney is there. We also have a cornerback that a lot of people like, Melifonwu, sitting there. And then we have Alex Leatherwood, another offensive tackle who, by the way, is a very athletic tackle. And they're saying that he projects to be a dominant guard in the NFL. He can play tackle. He can definitely play that position. But at the NFL level, he might end up going to be a guard and be a dominant guard if he does that. And then we have my favorite player in the second round, Mr. Pat Freiermuth, everybody, the tight end that I love so much from Penn State. So if we had to pick somebody here, let's look at the chat. What are you guys thinking? Let us know what you guys are thinking. Rousseau, Melifonwu, Kadarius Toney. And so we can start to get an idea of what you guys are looking at. Max, what do you think here? If you have to pick somebody, if it was your choice, which one you going with?
Cornerback for sure. It needs to be addressed. I would go with Melifonwu. Sorry if I mispronounce, or I would actually go with Asante Samuel out of Florida State. So either one of those two, I would go with. I would actually lean towards Asante Samuel.
Very nice.
If I was going to take two, if I was going to take one of those two, but cornerback, I think needs to be addressed at 34.
Very nice. Where do you think? Where do you come in here, Kimberly?
I'm also kind of there on cornerback, but I'm also thinking like edge as well. I feel like we need to address that too.
Yeah.
It's so hard because there's so many positions that we need to address right now. Such a big pick, right? And I'm like looking at the chat too, and everyone, you guys are not helping us at all. You guys are all over the place.
I know. Well, there's 200 of them in here, so if all of them sit there and say they're one player, and there could literally be 200 different names coming in, flooding in right now. So, John, what are you thinking? Kimberly's thinking she's starting to lean towards edge a little bit, but she's in the mood for a cornerback as well. Where do you reside here?
All right, so I apologize for the long-winded answer, but obviously edge and cornerback are two areas where we need a lot of help. But I think what they've done on the defensive line in free agency buys us a little time on the edge. I don't think we need to grab somebody unless you absolutely love them with this pick. And to a lesser extent, I feel the same way about cornerback. Our corners are young. They're athletic. If you're telling me we were going to get a difference-making corner at 23, I would go to corner in that spot. But here, Asante Samuel Jr. is close to that for me, but I don't know. You may have got me on the tight end from Penn State because I didn't think I'd ever be going this route, but man, does Chris Herndon suck. So
yeah, man, I'm with you.
He sucks so bad. He's got hands of stone. I don't know, man. Gun to my head, I'm gonna go with the tight end. I say let's take the risk on the tight end. Also, GreenBean, I'm trusting your sage wisdom because I don't watch a lot of Penn State football. So
yeah, well, admittedly, I don't either. As it's not a school that I watch all the time. But in my preparation for all this stuff, starting toward the end of the season, I watch a little bit of everybody, and then obviously we do the whole breakdowns and evaluations and all that sort of stuff. But Pat Freiermuth is super duper crazy special. I love him. And the thing is, and my chat knows I feel like this, tight end, in my opinion, is actually a greater need than wide receiver right now. Just like you pointed out with the edge rushers, we did a little work on the wide receiver position. We still have Crowder. We have Mims, who people are sleeping on him, man. That is a number one receiver in the making. I love him to death. He was very highly rated last year, and he just fell like so many receivers have before him. Michael Thomas, McLaren, so many guys fall down to the second and third round. So that's not really a big deal. But the tight ends, like you said, I know everybody wants to love Chris Herndon, but the guy has literally done nothing. He had 39 catches his rookie year, and he's been a ghost since. So we can keep him on the team, but as our written in number one, I think that's a mistake. And at some point in this draft, I think we really do got to pay attention to the tight end and somebody that can play in an 11 personnel and a 12 personnel, which means they have to block and be able to be a pretty prolific pass catcher, I think would fit the bill. So I do see
there's a super comment on that. Yeah.
Yes,
awesome.
Jets by Jimmy.
Jets by Jimmy, who if you guys haven't made your way over to Jets by Jimmy's YouTube channel, you really should. And if now's as good a time as ever, because he interviewed me today about how I became a Jets fan, and I feel like he got me to say some shit I didn't want to say. So some secrets. He's an excellent interviewer, and he got me to cry. He got me all kinds of stuff. So make your way over to Jets by Jimmy on YouTube when you get a chance. Not right now, of course. Wait till the end of this, but at some point, get on over there and check out the interview I did. So let's see what he has to say. He's very knowledgeable. Sorry, Max, I got to cut you off for a second here.
It's okay.
Let me see if I can reorganize this. There we go. Okay. GreenBean, take Pat Freiermuth, best blocking tight end, helps the O-line, second best receiving tight end in the draft. Jimmy, you are a man after my own heart. I love you. I would hug you if you didn't live in Idaho, buddy. So,
is it because he lives in Idaho or because you're just not in Idaho?
It's the Idaho thing.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I love it. I actually spent a lot of time in Idaho last year. Oddly enough, and very unrelated, I did some on the Snake River. We were in Boise last year. I don't know if you guys know, I travel around. I live in an RV. Right now, I'm at Aunt Paulette's house in Charlottesville, Virginia, because she has some pretty nifty internet, and I don't have any where I am right now. So, but yeah, man, thank you, Jimmy. I do appreciate the super chat, and I happen to agree with Pat Freiermuth. If we don't get Freiermuth, though, because there are some other players that are pretty good. Kadarius Toney, there's a few. I'm going to share my screen again here. Let me see what I got. So there's quite a few. What the hell's going on? There we go. So I'm with you, but I would understand if we don't go that way. So let's look and see what we got here. I'm going to go back to the big board. Again, let's take a look at the offensive line. We'll do this positionally. We'll take a look at the guards. Wyatt Davis and Trey Smith are both still sitting there. We could take care of this offensive line for better or for worse right now. The tackles, we also have Leatherwood, Radunes, and Eichenberg and Jalen Mayfield. They're all still sitting there. Walker Little, one of my favorite players in the whole draft. The cornerbacks look like this. You got Melifonwu on top from their big board. Kelvin Joseph is another one I wouldn't be hurt if we took. Eric Stokes, one of my favorite cornerbacks. Like Max said, Asante Samuel, a true nickel, which we do not have right now. We have an undrafted free agent named Javelin Guidry holding that spot right now, which is scary, quite frankly. So we have a few of those guys. Now for Kimberly, let's take a look at the edge. Oh, wow. Rousseau and Jalen Phillips and Basham are all still sitting there. Joe Tryon, Patrick Jones has slid way down here. We could get him later. So there's a lot of good guys here, man. A lot of good guys. The tight ends, if not Pat Freiermuth, Hunter Long is going to be sitting there in the third round, most likely, as is Brevin Jordan. Excuse me. So maybe we would want to push and forego the tight end position because either one of those two guys would fit the bill as well. So has the chat helped us, Kimberly? Have they whittled it down at all?
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of Wyatt Davis kind of build the wall for Zach Wilson. That's what I'm seeing a lot of. And I kind of agree with that. Give him the defense that he needs. Give him an opportunity to be a playmaker. So I'm kind of leaning now. I'm thinking that we can wait a little bit on the edge and maybe kind of just finish that wall off for him and get Davis since he's still on that board.
Right, and just call it a day, right? Like, the most important thing is this number 2 pick quarterback we have. Let's make sure that we take care of him before we start looking anywhere else. And that makes sense. So let's do this, guys. We're going to whittle this down to the offensive line and cornerback. We're going to push my love of my life, Pat Freiermuth, aside for a minute.
Well, wait. Before you do that, GreenBean, before you do that, because I just have one more thing I want to throw in on this Freiermuth thing, okay? Because Jets by Jimmy makes a great point about how he's a great pass catcher and he helps the O-line. When you put those two things together, right, and you give a young quarterback, a rookie quarterback, the security blanket of a tight end, we've seen how good that can be. We see how much a rookie quarterback can rely on that position. And to me, if you can help in those two spots at once, help solidify the line and give him a tight end that can run the seam, it's selling me more and more on the tight end spot, because I think it helps the young quarterback in two separate ways with one pick.
Yeah, I'm sold on that.
Yeah, this John Saporano guy is a pretty good salesman. I'm telling you, as much as I liked Pat Freiermuth before, now I think there's literally no other choice except Pat Freiermuth. So good job, man. Not bad. I'll tell you, you're quite the pitch for Pat Freiermuth. So this is what we're going to do. On the heels of that, we're going to say the picks are this: Wyatt Davis, a cornerback of your choice, more than likely Asante Samuel or Pat Freiermuth. That is our three choices for pick 34. Chat, please vote only once and tell us which one of those guys. So it's Asante Samuel, Wyatt Davis, or Pat Freiermuth. Give it to us, okay? Now I'll turn that over to you guys. With those three players being our choices, which one are you taking? John, are you going to stick with Pat Freiermuth?
Of those three, I'm staying with Freiermuth. I think I sold myself on that rant. I was like, wait, I have to get this out here. I felt like those were my closing arguments on Freiermuth. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Pat Freiermuth. I know it might be a little bit of a reach. I understand that a tight end in this spot, if he's not elite, is a reach. But you know what, man? Our tight ends are terrible. And again, I want somebody that Wilson can rely on throwing the ball to.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. They call the tight end the quarterback's best friend, and that's for a reason.
Yes.
When you look at these great teams throughout history, most of the time they have a dominant tight end. Even the old Cowboys teams or the Patriots teams, and obviously Kittle and Kels now. And it's just, they're always present. They have an above-average tight end on these teams, and it makes sense because of how effective toward helping the entire offense a tight end, really can be. So, Kimberly, which one are you choosing? Pat Freiermuth, Wyatt Davis, or who was it? Asante Samuel.
I think I'm going to go with Wyatt Davis and kind of stick with that, kind of just build that solid offensive line that we so desperately have needed for years and years. So, to me, he's one of the best players that are still on the board, and I'm going to go with Davis.
Nice. Very nice. And I don't know. Right now I'm split between you two. Let's see what Max has to say. Out of those three guys, which one would you lean towards, Max?
Well, I could just muddy the waters for fuck's sake and just say, yeah, go with Asante Samuel. Just to really get you going. Now, you know what? After thinking of this a little bit, I mean, last time this team was fantastic. Our offensive line was just incredible. So, you know what? I'm going to just say Wyatt Davis.
Nice. All right, so we got two Wyatt Davises, a Pat Freiermuth. I think I'm going to go Pat Freiermuth as well. So we have our votes. Let's take a look and try to make some sense out of this chat. I'm going to scan right now. Have you guys been looking? Do you think it's leaning one way or the other?
I think it's leaning Wyatt Davis.
It's right.
I think it's Wyatt Davis too, but I don't know what John's seeing, but that's what I'm seeing.
Oh, I just think this Freiermuth thing has become a real point of contention. People either love it or think it's the dumbest idea in the world.
Thinking, that's for sure.
Let me tell you something. You take Freiermuth, and 200 people are leaving this chat right now. Okay, it's Wyatt Davis.
I agree.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
I'd have to do it just for the sake of keeping this thing alive. Might have to just take Wyatt Davis.
I know, right? Well, look, Joseph Wait, where was he? Yeah, Joseph Grana in the chat says tight end is a premium featured position in this offense. So you don't want to think about, and I agree with you, Joseph. This is not the traditional way to look at a tight end. This offense it really relies heavily on the tight end as well. And with the work that we did with the wide receiver group in the offseason, Keelan Cole, Corey Davis, in addition to Crowder and Mims, like I said before, this is kind of the biggest need after offensive line, and we already got one. So that's where it makes sense. As I look, guys, though, I think it is Wyatt Davis. And J. Cole says, fuck Pat. I don't know why you got to get so mad at him, J. Cole.
Charlie Roger just said, fuck you all in all caps.
Yeah.
Hey,
holy
Charlie,
shit.
we love you.
Yeah, Charlie, what happened, buddy? Listen, Charlie, I want to tell you, I worked as a therapist for 15 years. So if you need to talk, just let me know, buddy. We'll stop this and we'll see what's going on and we'll get through it together. Okay, Charlie Roger, you don't have to feel this way. You don't have to suffer alone. I assure you. There he is again. And Charlie Roger, on a secondary note, if you keep doing that, I'm going to have to ban you. So we can talk therapeutically, or I can just get rid of you. Please, let's change the direction. I don't want to have to do that, man. So it's looking to me like it's going to be Wyatt Davis. And that's what it looks like. So that's what we're going to do, guys. Good shit. This was a good one. Nice. I love hearing all your thoughts. I love when you guys get into it. So let's go there. Well, let me see here. Let me do it this way. Where the hell did he go? Oh, there he is. I got scared for a second. I'm like, oh, he's not even there. Somebody took him already. That'd be hilarious. All right, guys, here he comes, Wyatt Davis. The wall has been constructed. Fantastic. Zach Wilson thanks you. So let's see where we go now. Whoop. Oh, there goes Leatherwood. There goes Rousseau, Kimberly. He's gone. Pat Freiermuth to the Niners. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy, man. They're going to have Kittle and Freiermuth?
Yeah.
Asante Samuel gone to the Bears.
Damn it. I know they just let Jordan Reed go over there in San Francisco. So they're going to be running out a 2 tight end set with Pat Freiermuth and Kittle. Dude, that's dominance right there.
Yeah. We wouldn't have had that whole discussion if we would have just signed either Hunter Henry or Jonnu Smith in free agency.
Right?
I know, right?
We had the money to do it. It's crazy we didn't.
It's just funny. This Joe Douglas character, as you start to look at what he's doing, he's just not it doesn't look like he's a big fan of paying these people a lot of money if they're not like on the earlier side of their careers. And if he's, it's all a personality thing too. He's looking for a specific type,
which I don't hate.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. Not me, man. I'll deal with anybody. I don't care. I've been known for that.
Yeah,
like,
me
whatever.
too. Me too. Start ugly early, beat the rush,
That's right. I had a whole bit on that for years. Walking in the bar at 8 a.m. and just going, come on.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
That's the way. All right, guys, we have 2 trades. We are standing at pick number 66, the first of our 3rd round picks. We have 2 trades. The first is from the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They want us to slide back 29 spots.
Nope. Fuck Tom Brady.
Yeah,
that's right. I know.
I don't want to help them in any way.
No,
I'm telling you. I agree. And it's not enough. 30 spots is a long way,
that's
man.
a lot.
It is. The Cleveland Browns, another team I hate, and that's a whole personal thing I have. They want us to go back to 89. They'll give us next year's 3rd. Any interest, guys?
No.
There is nothing the entire city of Cleveland has to offer that would let me give them this pick.
Nothing.
No.
That's so funny.
I hate that place.
I'm telling you, dude, I have big stories, man. Matter of fact, that's one of the things I just let out of the bag on Jimmy's show about we went to Cleveland when they were welcomed back to the NFL. A bunch of friends from all different fans of different teams rented an RV and went there with a big sign, welcome back Cleveland. And we got into the biggest fight ever. And got arrested, everything, blood. It was crazy town. If you want to hear that story, go to Jets by Jimmy. It gets real. So, guys, in the chat, let us know. Yeah, liberal Irishman, Green Bean Browns fan. That's me, buddy. You know it. You know me. What's up, Steven Sack Exchange? Sorry, Max, I'm cutting you off for a split second.
That's fine.
This is Sack Exchange from Twitter. If you guys don't know, BKLYN929, this is where the giveaways are on Twitter. He loves his Jets fan brethren. He gives away free jerseys, free signed jerseys, signed plaques, signed helmets. Hey, Steve, you feel like giving anything away on this show right here? Let me know, buddy. We'll stop if you want to give something away. Just let me know. But you guys need to follow him on Twitter. What he's got planned for draft day is borderline insane, what he's going to be given. And it's all for free. It's all for free. BKLYN929. Happy you stopped in, Steve. So guys, any interest in the trades?
No.
Okay, good.
Those are awful trades.
Awful trades.
Greenbean, we got a super comment from John O'Sullivan, who's a big fan of the Goddamn Jets show, and he's just shouting you out, saying that Greenbean seems like a great guy to have a beer with, to be honest. And I tend to agree with that.
I agree.
Oh, yeah. Fuck it. Well, thank you, John O'Sullivan. I do appreciate that. It feels nice, and I thank you for that. And thank you for the super chat. That is appreciated as well. As many know, I have no income, so this helps greatly. These $5 chats. My kids will eat tomorrow. This is it. So thank you, man. I appreciate that. Okay, let's start looking for the next pick. Steven, let me know if you want to give something away. No pressure, but I'll stop the mock if you want to do that. But I'm just glad you stopped by to say hello. Okay, we're going to get rid of these trades. Let's look at their big board, guys. Let's see what they're looking like. We have a defensive tackle, a position we're not even going to be looking at in the draft. Up top, we have edge rusher Peyton Turner, a cornerback Aaron Robinson, linebacker Pete Werner, and that's another position I want you guys not to forget about in the chat. Linebacker is a position where we don't have anybody. Really, we have CJ Mosley, who hasn't played in 2 years. We have Blake Cashman, who's affectionately known as Break Glassman. He can't stay on the field. Wait, hold on. Steven is texting me something. He wants to give something away.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is. He wants to give away a signed Mark Gastineau card.
Ooh.
Whoa.
So, Steve, if you wouldn't mind going ahead and running it in the chat, just go ahead and tell them to pick the number and everything. I'm going to go ahead and show them. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Sorry, guys, but this is exciting.
Of course.
There's a lot of chatter going on right now in the chat, too, that linebacker is a bigger need than cornerback. So people are agreeing with you. I think linebacker is a bigger need than anywhere on the defensive line, going back to what I was saying before. So I think a lot of people are in lockstep with that.
Yeah, I agree, man. A linebacker, just like we were saying. I mean, we don't have any. We have no linebackers. And Saleh, his linebackers stay on the field for all three play. Like, that's the way he runs his defense. So we need one of these sideline to sideline guys. Hey, it'd be great if CJ Mosley can come back and play to form. It would be nothing better. But don't forget, he costs $18 million too. So that's not so good. So, guys, I'm going to show you what he's giving away right now.
Oh, look at that.
Very cool.
A signed Mark Gastineau card. See, I need him to do it because he does this thing. He has a simulator. Let me see where he is. Steve, where'd you go? Let me see.
Guess from 1 to 50 to win Mark Gastineau autograph.
Yep. Did he just do that?
Yeah. He said guess 1 to 50.
1 to 50. There it goes, guys. So we're going to put our little mock on hold for a second so one of you lucky bastards can get a signed Mark Gastineau card. The greatest thing about Steve's giveaways is he pays for shipping. And he's from Brooklyn, so he ships it in like 3 minutes. 3 minutes. It'll be shipped tonight. He's got connections. I know. I wish I had. I didn't bring the jersey with me. He just sent me a Mark Gastineau jersey.
Oh, wow.
He sent my daughter a Revis T-shirt and my son a Revis jersey. The guy's the best. I said to him, hey, okay, look, Thank you. I appreciate it, but let me pay for shipping. He said it's too late. It's already gone. This was literally 10 minutes after he told me about it.
What can I say? Us Brooklyn guys are good people. You know what I mean?
That's it.
That's what we do.
You get a bad rap. You know what I mean? You get a bad rap. You guys are all right.
Make it sound like we're so rude. You know, I just see us. We're just giving altruistic people.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, man. So let's see. Who is our winner? So E-Rock Polk just says, just got my Wayne Krebet card from Steven. So there we have another previous winner right here. E-Rock just said he received his gift from Steven. So this guy's legit, man. I talk to him all the time. He just wants Jets fans to be happy. He loves us. He goes out and he finds these different things and he gives them away on his Twitter page all the time. If you guys aren't following him, you really should be, because number one, he's the most awesome dude out there. Number two, win some shit. You know what I mean? What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. Listen, somebody's got to worry about Jets fans being happy, because God knows it ain't Woody fucking Johnson. So.
Oh my God.
That's awesome. Right, man. See? I know we're trying to get Steve a job in the Jets. You know, like, come on. He could run that marketing department. It'd be the best. That'd be awesome. Did we find a winner yet? Let's see.
I don't think so.
It's crazy how many wrong answers there are between 1 and 50. Isn't it?
Yeah.
So many. It's like 100 wrong answers.
49.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love people just shouting out all different neighborhoods in Brooklyn now. Since we brought that up, people that's just what happens every time somebody mentions Brooklyn. They're just like, "Yeah, I'm from Flatbush," and people just yell shit out.
We have a super chat that just came in. John, ooh. I'm gonna butcher your last name and I apologize. Hi, Bendel. I hope I said that right. And
nailed it.
He said, "Just keep it up. Can't wait for season." And I agree. I cannot wait for the start of the season. It starts Thursday, man.
I'm telling you, right. That's a good way to put it. Our season starts Thursday. We're literally 3 days away, because this day's gone. This day's over. Well, thank you, John Heibendahl. I appreciate it. Again, this is the kind of stuff that warms my heart, and I sincerely appreciate it. So thank you. Let's see. Did Steven find a winner? Where is he? Where's Steven?
I don't think so yet. We're checking it out so far.
Coming in. Numbers and Brooklyn towns, which is amazing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Steven's from Bensonhurst, he said.
Couple people. Oh, Bensonhurst. That's where I'm from, Steven.
There you go.
I grew up in Bensonhurst. And a couple folks, J.E. saying Bay Ridge is in the house, and John, who is it? John Amarillo, I think, said also Amoriello said currently in Bay Ridge. Bay Ridge is the last place I lived before I moved to Los Angeles. So got a lot of connections to the folks here.
All right, we have a winner. It is Mitt Flair. Mitt Flair, you won the signed Gastineau card. Here's how to get it. Yeah, congratulations, man. Here's how you get it. DM BKLYN Brooklyn 929 on Twitter. Just DM him. Say, hey, I'm Mitt Flair. I'm the best. I won. And he will take care of the rest, man. So congratulations, Mitt. I'm glad. This is good. No, this is good news. I'm psyched.
Yay.
Look at that.
See that?
I'm sorry. I gotta check in again with whoever's behind the curtain at JE. He said Severian High School alumni. I am also a Severian High School alumni. So I don't know who that is. Maybe it's somebody I went to school. I'm not sure. But also I can't keep giving out all this information about myself.
I know.
To know everything about you, John, after this.
I gave him like my last 3 most recent addresses and my social security number by accident in the last 5 minutes.
So yeah, man, how cool, right? You're gonna find out that one of them is you. That's what's gonna be.
Yeah, those are all just my burner accounts. I just wanted to fill up the chat. I got a second computer off to my left. You guys can't see.
Yeah. Oh, that would be disappointing if it was like 150 of you in here. You know what I mean?
Even I would be disappointed by 150 of me, and I like me, so.
Yeah, well, right. Exactly. That's a little too much of any of us.
Too much.
All right, guys. So back to the draft. So let's take a look at what we've done. So far we have taken a quarterback at 2. We took 2 offensive linemen to support said quarterback. So we are at pick 66. We saw a couple trades. They weren't really that interesting. So we got to think about which position we want to go with now. Don't forget, we have the tight end need. That didn't go away. So we have the tight end need. We have linebacker need. We have cornerback need, edge rusher need. And we could also use a shifty little wide receiver at some point as well. So let's do this, chat. Which position would you like to go with right now? Just give us your positions, and then I'll talk to you guys. Kimberly, if you had to pick the most needed position right now, which one you going with?
I think it's time to address cornerback at this point, and we still have some great guys on the board. I think it's the time. Let's stop stressing, and I think it's time to address quarterback.
Yeah, Adebo's still there. Elijah Molden, he would be perfect. He'd be perfect. Quite a few good cornerbacks, I agree. But after this batch, Trill Williams, it looks like it's probably going to get pretty thin soon. So that's it's pretty good advice there, Kimberly. Mm-hmm. Max, which position? Do you agree with cornerback right now?
Yeah, I agree, and I'm not going to backtrack like I did with the last pick. I'm sticking firm at quarterback, and I will not let the chat bully me into changing my opinion. So I'm going to say Adebo I'm going to say Adebo.
Nice. John, what are you thinking?
Yeah, what you said about things getting pretty thin after this spot is really what worries me. I think maybe linebacker is still a bigger need than cornerback, like I said a little bit ago. But it does look real bad after. Like we're not going to get a good enough cornerback if we don't pick one now. I think I might be with Max too on Adebo. I think cornerback might have to be the way to go.
Okay, I tend to lean in the same direction, and I will say there are still quite a few linebackers that I like a whole bunch sitting there. So I think that at 86, we're still going to be able to grab one should we choose that direction. So I would lean cornerback as well. So let's see what the chat is saying. LOL, linebacker. So many good linebackers.
You're muted, GreenBean.
I saw that. I got a warning this time. I was like, oh, muted. So I was just saying something and I forgot what I was saying. So let's see. I'm reading. So we got Robinson, Angel Garcia. Is Stokes still there? I didn't see Stokes. No, Stokes is gone, guys. Wait, I think he was anyway. Yeah. We got Elijah Molden, Aaron Robinson, Tyson Campbell, Robert Rochelle, Paulson Adebo, Trill Williams. Quite a few guys, but this is right where they're going to go. So I think it's going cornerback. That's the way we're going to go. Now we got to pick our player. If it was me, I'm saying Elijah Molden. That's my pick. I also see that Carson Boyko agrees with me. So let's say Adebo or Molden. Make your picks. Adebo or Molden. Yes, Melifonwu's gone, piddly poo.
Piddly poo, that's the greatest name ever.
It's the best. I love that guy.
That just took me out of it. I was like really deep in thought about which cornerback I wanted. Then I heard you say piddly poo and I just lost it.
Yeah, that's good.
John Heibendahl said sign Sherman and go in a different direction. I don't think signing Sherman is really addressing the cornerback situation the way we need to address it. So let's sign him if we can, and he's not asking for too much money. Just have him as a locker room guy, but not as what we're looking for in the draft.
I agree. I would like to see Sherman brought on, but really I like his leadership ability.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's going to want to play. The truth is I don't know. I don't feel all that confident that he's coming.
No.
But if he did come, it would be positive for the young guys like Bryce Hall to have that really positive veteran leader in the house. Very similar to what Ty Law did for Darrelle Revis. Darrelle Revis's career skyrocketed after he had time.
Yep.
Excuse me, with Ty Law. So I think that would be good.
To that point, there's still Steven Nelson is still a free agent who I think has much more tread on the tires left than Richard Sherman does. So if you wanted to move away, and somebody just said if we sign Steven the Glove Nelson, right as I was saying that, I think he'd be the guy over Richard Sherman. I know that people want to connect the dots because of Saleh and Sherman, but I think Nelson is the way to go if you want to not address it here in the draft.
Yeah. And now I think, well, I read something, not that I trust the news media because they've been getting literally everything wrong for months. But I think Steven Nelson's asking price is a little higher than anyone's willing to give him currently. And especially this close to the draft, we'll probably see him signed afterward. And I wouldn't be upset if he ended up being the guy that we grabbed. Again, I just don't know what his price tag is going to be. And even though we had so much money, you got to remember, we spent most of it, and we still need to sign our rookies. We have 10 picks coming in, 3 high picks, 2 firsts. So it's going to be an expensive rookie class. I think some guys in the chat were looking it up for me. I think it's going to be anywhere from like $12.5 to $15 million we're going to need to sign our rookies. So it's a lot of money. We don't have, it's not flowing what we have left. So guys, I'm seeing a lot of guys that are saying, hey, those 2 choices that you gave us are not what we want. We want Tyson Campbell. I'm seeing quite a few, led by Jets by Jimmy. He's starting somewhat of a mutiny.
It was like he was whispering, Tyson Campbell.
Yeah, right.
Tyson Campbell. Tyson.
He's DMing people on the side. Hey, say Tyson Campbell. So here's Steven. He's given us a super chat, and then we're going to go on and pick our cornerback. Steven, thank you, buddy, for the super chat. Max, sorry how this is working out, man.
Listen, it's fine. I'm self-conscious about my face, so it's perfect.
Yeah, there you go. I'm happy to help, man. So Steven, thanks again for the super chat. He says, I think he's saying build around this. Oh, I'm sorry. I would surround this young quarterback with 90% offense in this draft. Not going to win the Super Bowl anyways. Get the offense right and support Zach. There is wisdom there. The only counter I would say to that is you want to try to build your offense and defense at the same time if you can. You don't want to have all offense having a year together and then next year have a big, overwhelmingly large group of rookies on the defense. So then they're that much behind. But yes, I agree. We should be leaning offense. Do you guys feel the same way?
Generally speaking, yes. But, to your point, you at this point in the draft, I know we're only in the 3rd round, but you have to start looking at the value that you can get for the picks. Like I talked about earlier, like you mentioned, if there's one particular area that's going to thin out and it's a position of need, I think you have to look at that critically. So in this case, we're talking cornerback, and I think that's important. So, I want to build that offense up, but you got to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think that's well said too, man. I don't disagree. Max, you thinking we should go offense, or you think we should?
No, I'm not going to backtrack. I'm saying cornerback. Let's do it. Let's do it. Absolutely.
I forgot.
Sure.
I forgot about that.
I'm digging my heels in.
All right, so good. But thank you for the super chat, Steven. I think we're going to end up tilting offense, but we're going to have to spread a little love to the defensive side, especially bringing Saleh on board. I don't think he's going to stand pat and let us pick 10 offensive players and leave his defense alone. So guys,
super chat that just came in from Jets by Jimmy. He's saying that Tyson Campbell was the number 1 corner in Georgia till Stokes came up. Campbell fits all our needs.
Ooh, Jets by Jimmy laying down facts. He is not going to stand idly by and let this bullshit proceed. He wants us to know.
Jets, I love it. Thank you, Jets by Jimmy.
He wants us to know. Yes, thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate it. So Campbell's legit. He's in the mix here. So here's what we got. We're going to pick Elijah Molden, Paulson Adebo, or Campbell. That's all I want to see in the chat is one of those 3 names, okay? Let's pick one of those 3 names. We've decided cornerback is what we're going to do. It's Campbell, Molden, or Adebo. What do you guys got? Help us out. I see a Adebo, a Molden, 2 Moldens, 3 Moldens, 4 Moldens, a Campbell. Magarcus Bloodlust not helping, says Molden or Campbell. Come on, Garkus. Greg Tarr, what's up, buddy? He says Molden, Adebo. So Molden's ahead. Here goes Mikey Miles with a Campbell, Marky B with a Molden. I think at least one of these is available in our next pick. Well, I know that's possible, but we're just going to go ahead and pick the players we want for this one.
To me, it seems like Campbell is is kind of outweighing everything else in this, and it looks like it's a bunch coming in a row. That's Campbell.
Yeah, I see him.
You know,
Okay.
for me, I was kind of on the Molden train, but listening to Jets by Jimmy with Tyson Campbell, the one thing that really stands out to me is that he's a bigger player. He's longer, which never hurts you when you're talking about a cornerback. You know, he's 6'2". Molden is, I think, 5'10" or 5'11". That height definitely helps you. They're both athletic, you know, but that height going up against some of those big wide receivers, that might, I know it's not everything, but that might put it over the top for me.
Yeah. All right, man. So we have one more super chat. Guys, just so you know, I've gone ahead and put up Tyson Campbell's chart for you, what they have written down for him. Take a second and read it. It's starting to look like we're leaning that way. But in the meantime, I'm going to thank Kyle Ornsby for his super chat. And he says Tyson Campbell at 66, then defensive end was with our second, third rounder. Let's move it. I got work in the morning. Not bad, Kyle. I don't know. It's going to be what it is, though. I'm sorry. I mean, believe me, man. Shit. When I drink all these energy drinks and we do this, I'm usually up till 3, 4 in the morning after this shit. So, and I have a haircut at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So I don't know what I'm going to look like. But okay. So it looks like Campbell to me. That's what it is. We're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to move on to pick 86. Here he comes. We got ourselves a cornerback. Jets by Jimmy in charge. Here he comes. Tyson Campbell. There he goes. So, guys, now Kyle Ornsby said, let's consider defensive end with our next pick in the third round. Again, we need linebacker as well. We also need a tight end, a wide receiver. So I just want to keep those guys. There goes Dylan Moses, one of my favorite linebackers. Excuse me. So we have 2 trade offers, everybody. The Cleveland Browns are back. They want us to slide 3 picks down and give them our 226th selection, and they'll give us a 5th next year. That bores me. Bores me.
Yeah.
Let's see what the Rams want to do. They want us to go back 2 spots. And what they'll do is they'll take our 186th pick and move that up to 141. So they're saying if you slide back 2 now, you can slide up 45 picks later. What do you guys think of this? Any interest?
That's a decent deal. That's good value.
Absolutely.
That is good value. We got to take a look, though, and see who do they want? Who are they coming up for?
That's my question. Who do they want that they want to get that go up 2 spots?
They want the best linebacker on the board, who's Nick Bolton. And he's one of the guys that if we landed, it would be a success. One of the guys I was hoping to grab as we moved linebacker off of the last pick. So that's who they want. They want Nick Bolton. Amari Rodgers is another guy that we might want to consider. So let's see what the chat says. I agree. That's really good value. Mm-hmm. But do we want to say Nick Bolton supersedes that 45 pick jump later? What do you guys think in the chat? You want to take the trade, or do you want to take a player?
That's so tricky because it is great value to move up later to just move back 2 picks now. But if you love the player, if you love Bolton, we've talked so much about how linebacker is a big need. You can't risk it because that's probably who they want. And even if not, the Steelers pick next. Are the Steelers not going to pick a linebacker? They always pick the fucking linebacker every time. I feel like that's the Steelers' go-to.
Yeah, and they always get the one. No matter where they pick, I feel like they got the best guy. That's the Steelers, and the Ravens do it. The Steelers and Ravens every year they do that. So don't forget, we can counter this move as well. We can say, hey, we like what you're saying, but we'd like to it better like this. So let's see what that might look like.
Okay.
See what options we have countering. So we might be able to say, hey, why don't we give you 226 and move up to 141? Or maybe we could try to move up to 103. So what do you say, chat? Do you want to try to counter? You want to play with this, or you want to move on and grab Nick Bolton or a wide receiver? What are you guys thinking? My want for Bolton outweighs the value of the trade. Why Tigo? I agree, man. I would take Bolton here. This is what I would do. Try Pete DeTraglia says take a counter move or make a counter move. Watu K99 says he wants Brevin Jordan. Let me see what the tight ends look like while we're thinking about this.
Yeah, let's look at tight end, and then let's look at wide receiver too, because I think when you start to look at who you can grab just by moving 2 picks back, I still want a counter offer. I want to see if we can get something better out of them. But if it comes down to Bolton or a receiver you love or a tight end you love or all 3, then you can easily move back a bit. And I'm with Gitmo Bob. Try to get 103 instead of I don't remember what pick they were offering us, but let's try to get 103.
And this one's interesting. See, Wally is saying counter or take trade. They want a wide receiver. So Bolton may not even be in the picture here. We could still get him at 88.
Interesting. So you think they might want Amon-Ra St. Brown, huh? Is that what you guys are thinking? That's interesting, Kimberly.
Mm-hmm.
But
interesting.
But Am I Amish has the perfect campaign slogan: "Stick with Nick."
Stick with Nick.
I like that. That's very like 1950s presidential nominee slogan right there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, so we're going to play with the trade. Let's see what we can do here. If they'll let us slide to 103, then we'll make the move. Let's do this. If they do this, it's worth it. They said no.
All right. Wow.
Let's try one more option. Let's
try one more. Let's see if we can get some. I want something out of them. Maybe give them 226 for the yeah.
Right. Yep. Okay, let's take a look and see if they're interested. They said no. So it's this trade or nothing. My pick is, and Watu K99 brings up Brevin Jordan is still sitting there, and I don't think he should be. Even though they have him at 99, I have him as a late second round pick, as the 3rd best tight end in the draft. But I probably would still lean toward Nick Bolton because I feel like the tight ends are a little bit thicker than the linebackers are right now.
Yeah. So, and also, I mean, look, I obviously made my hate for Chris Herndon very vocal earlier, but we do have bodies at the tight end position. Now, are they bodies that I think can get it done, in 2021? No, I don't think so. But, I don't think we simply do not have enough quality linebackers, period. And
right.
if you said to me, we're going to take Nick Bolton and we're going to give Herndon one more chance, to me, that's a more stomachable move than going the other way.
That's a great point. That's the thing. Like when you look at it, the truth is that even though we don't love our tight ends, we at least have them. Mm-hmm. Linebackers, we don't have any. We have like 3 guys on the team. That's it. We don't have any fucking linebackers.
And if we trade Mosley, I know we didn't in this scenario, but maybe they will come out of the draft and they trade him. Who knows? Who knows what happens?
Yeah,
that $18 million is still sitting there. So
our tight ends are bodies, but they're not hands. So that's a bit of an issue.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
They don't have enough hands among them. That's the problem.
I know. E-Rock says, look, you take Bolton if he falls this far. I tend to agree. I know St. Brown is worth drafting, but he's a bigger bodied wide receiver at 6'2", I think he is. And that's redundant on our team. Everybody we have is 6'2" or above, except for Jamison Crowder. So if we're going to draft a wide receiver, more than likely you're going to see a small, shifty guy come in, 5'10", 5'11", with some speed, be able to take the top off the defense and Tyreek Hill their ass. So I like Amon-Ra St. Brown, but I don't think that's the pick here. So guys, we're going to go with Nick Bolton. That's what I'm seeing. Chris Bucco, what's up, buddy? He says sign Quan Alexander after the draft. Chris, you're muddying the water, my friend. This is we can't think like that, Chris. All right, so we're going to take Nick Bolton and we're going to move on to our next pick. We've spent enough time on this one. We got ourselves a linebacker from Missouri, Nick Bolton, coming to town.
Right.
See, I wouldn't even be against taking another linebacker a little bit later, but we'll see how this goes. I'm going to take a look. Go ahead, Max.
We got a super chat from Red Dog.
Ooh, Red Dog. Ooh, thank you for that yellow super chat. Look at this. We're changing colors. Red Dog, thank you, man. Red Dog actually frequents my other channel, Full-Time Coaster Tour, and I appreciate that, man. I love chatting with you, Red Dog. Thanks for entertaining us. P.S. F the Patriots.
Yeah.
Right on.
I can get behind that. He was complimentary and also said fuck the Patriots. Those are like two of my favorite things. Yeah. Receiving compliments and saying fuck the Patriots. So I'm good with that.
Right. Has there ever been a better comment? I don't know.
No, that deserves like its own tier of just that's just fantastic.
Yeah.
Best comment you can get.
Muted. All right, and that's why it's yellow. See, its own tier. That's what it is. Thank you, Red Dog. I appreciate it. All right, so let's look at what we got here. I'm going to take a little recap of our draft so far. The Jets have selected Zach Wilson, Teven Jenkins, Wyatt Davis, Tyson Campbell, and Nick Bolton. Not bad, guys. This is a nice spread out. This is a pretty good looking draft so far, in my opinion. Let's talk about positions. If it were me, I'm starting to look at tight ends and shifty wide receivers right about now. That's what I'm doing. Kenny Yeboah and Nick Eubanks, as well as Trey McKitty, are really good prospects. So I would be fine with any one of those. I would take Kenny Yeboah at the top. That would be my guy out of Mississippi. I happen to like him a great deal. He's a little bit raw, but he's got all the things that you want in a tight end. Anywho, any other ideas on position? I'm going to go ahead and show our chat the big board here and see what it's looking like. What do you guys think? Kimberly, where are you going right now if you had to make a choice?
I think it's time to get the tight end now. That's kind of where I'm going for. And I think whoever's the best possible tight end at this point, because then I think it gets kind of shady going down. And like after 107, we have a while until our next pick. Our next pick's not until 146. So
correct.
We have a bit of, there's a bit of a while. So we need to make sure we get somebody that's a playmaker. So I'm leaning towards tight end, but I'm also interested in the wide receiver position as well.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look. This is what the tight ends look like. I have them up on the board. We have Kenny Yeboah, Quentin Morris, Nick Eubanks, Trey McKitty, and a few more guys. Now, the wide receivers, we have the littlest, tiniest guy in the whole draft, Tutu Atwell, sitting up top.
Doesn't he just sound like a tiny guy, that name?
Yeah, Tutu. Yeah, Tutu. I know, Tutu.
Cute.
He is. Oh. I think he's 5'7", 160 pounds or something. Let's take a look and see. I think he's really little. Yeah, negative, small, and struggles in battles.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'd say
just
so.
Seeing him get bullied every week, that'd actually be kind of funny.
I just want to draft him so we could have the team picture of him standing next to Mekhi Becton.
Yeah. Oh, totally. And when he's going to be wearing like those white Under Armours that are super baggy, that's going to be so comical.
Yeah, that's
like
going to be
loose
hilarious.
Under Armour.
See, a lot of people don't consider this aspect of a draft pick.
Yeah.
Something we need to consider, man.
And, I'm over here talking shit like those aren't the exact same measurables that I have, by the way.
I know. But, hey, in your defense, you're not trying to go on an NFL team. So there is that.
That's true.
All right, guys. So I think I'm seeing some comments for tight end. If I took tight end, we should just probably go right to the top and grab Kenny Yeboah. But what are we thinking? In the meantime, I see a super chat. Let's see what Joe Pekulik has to say. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that super chat. Super chat, family dinner for Beanie, hamburger helper, and ground round. Yeah, he knows the story. Marquez Stevenson for slot wide receiver. Yeah, that'd be a good pick. Thank you, Joe. And I am up. You guys arranged the dinner at the now defunct restaurant chain of Ground Round, and I will meet you there, and we'll have a good time. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Oh, we got super chats coming in now. What's going on? Okay. Before I get to Jimmy's super chat, let's try to make a pick. We are halfway through our picks, and we have spent an hour and 25 minutes getting here. So let's try to speed it up a little bit, right?
All right. Well, let me ask you this. I don't want to muddy the waters, but I was thinking this, and a lot of people have been saying it in the chats. Too many to mention specifically, but let's look at the running backs. I think that's another position of need overall, and I just want to see who's there. I'm leaning with you on the tight end. I like our running back room at least for the next year, at least for the upcoming season. But let's see who's here.
Okay. Good choice. Good idea. So they have Ramondre Stevenson, who I'm not familiar with, interestingly enough. Khalil Herbert, Jermer Jefferson, Chuba Hubbard, Kylan Hill, my favorite guy up here, and then Jarrett Patterson is another guy that I like a whole bunch out of Buffalo. So there's still a few. A guy like Jarrett Patterson, they have him rated at 189, Kylan Hill 177. So these guys are going to be, hanging around for a little while longer. Unless we really liked Ramondre Stevenson, I think running back could wait a little bit. But that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, I agree with Jets by Jimmy. No running backs.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Me and Kim are always on the same page.
It's like this sixth sense. It's weird, but I'm all about it.
Yeah. So you guys don't think we should take a running back at all in this draft?
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
I definitely don't want one in this spot. I differ from those guys a little bit in that, like I said, I like the running back room for the upcoming season, but I think it's something that we could draft, but I think you're looking for a value pick or a sleeper pick or something later on where you're like, wow, man, I didn't expect this guy to fall to the fifth or sixth round, something like that. I'm leaning more towards tight ends now that I've seen who's available.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I actually agree with what you're saying too, John. I mean, I think our running back room is a little better than people think it is. And this particular offensive scheme has all the way back to Mike Shanahan is known for taking late round and undrafted free agent running backs and making them into stars.
Yep.
So the idea of using premium draft capital when you have 4 running backs, we have Young, we have a second year, we have a fourth year, we have a fifth year, and then we have Teven Coleman. It's not a bad room to see what we have. You know what I mean?
It's absolutely not. And you said it. The Shanahan offense is plug and play for running backs. Teven Coleman already knows the system. I think Ty Johnson proved with a bad offensive line and the worst fucking offensive scheme I have ever seen in my life of Adam Gase that he was able to make plays. So I think both of those things are important. And just to follow up on that, Jets by Jimmy said we need to get better and younger at running back, but we can do that in 2022 when the roster is more complete. And I tend to agree with that sentiment as well. I think this is something that we could move the goalpost on and look at next year. And none of the guys excite me now. I almost would say if things broke differently earlier, I could see a guy like Najee Harris or ETN if they fell to us at certain picks because of their explosiveness. But nobody here gets me going. Nobody here excites me.
Right. Yeah, man, I feel the same way. And that was well said. So guys, I'm seeing more tight ends, and then when it comes to wide receiver, I'm seeing the name Anthony Schwartz. Now, Anthony Schwartz is perfect for what we're trying to do here. He's perfect, and he's going to be there a little while. They have him rated at 145. So we're more, it's dangerous, but we have a really good chance of getting him at our next pick, which is 146. He's probably going to be there. Obviously, we can't predict and know anything. But I think if we take a guy like Kenny Yeboah now, who's 107, he's going to be gone, as is, the other tight ends will be here. Trey McKitty will be around. But I think tight end right now, and then maybe hoping for Anthony Schwartz, the wide receiver. I think that's a good way to go. So
we got a super chat from Rags Morales.
Yes. It's a fancy one.
Let me get to that. Ooh, an orangey
yes.
yellow. Wow, look at this. Thank you, Regs. That's a super sticker. So I can't see it on here, but you guys can see it on YouTube.
I can see it. It says, "You are amazing." Thank you. And you
the
are
guy I love.
amazing, Rags Morales.
Yeah. See, it sucks. I'm on the little program that I'm using, StreamYard. It doesn't allow me to see the super stickers, but on YouTube, hopefully all you guys can see it and enjoy it. And Rags, I sincerely appreciate that. Thank you so much. And since we're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and grab Jets by Jimmy's. It's a little while back now, but here we go, Jimmy. Sorry about that. Anthony Schwartz ran the fastest pro day time in the draft, 4.26. That said, I will say pro day times are a big bunch of hooey, Jets by Jimmy, because they're done with a hand clock and they're done with people who are motivated to make their players look a little better. So even if that was a 4.33, which would still be fast, I don't trust any 40 times that aren't computer. But still a good point. I just want you to know that 4.26 at the combine would probably look more like 4.34. Yes. But that doesn't mean I don't like them, because I do. Yes, Eric Craig, thank you. I know I didn't even see Eric's comment. You see, he's like, hey, don't forget Jimmy's super chat, asshole. Thanks, Eric.
I like the people in the chat sticking together, like, yo, GreenBean, look at this guy.
Yeah. I love it.
That's the thing, right? There's a brotherhood in there, and I appreciate that, man, because they know I'm number one, I'm old. Number two, I'm burnt. And number three, I'm not the smartest guy in the room. So it could happen, If you guys weren't here, I would have probably missed 2/3 of the super chat. So, but I appreciate all the help, because obviously when somebody sends in a super chat or a super sticker, we want to make sure that we get to it because it's important, man. I want to honor that. So, all right, guys, we are here. It's down to Kenny Yeboah and Anthony Schwartz. Those are the two guys we're taking. One is a tight end. One is a wide receiver. Go ahead and start the votes. Those are the two players. Kenny Yeboah, Anthony Schwartz. That's what I want to see.
It's got to be Yeboah.
Yeah.
I think it's Yeboah. I mean, the guy, I'm going to go back to my tight end pitch from earlier. The guy has good hands. He makes catches. He runs good routes. He's athletic. I think you get Zach Wilson that help now. You go Kenny Yeboah. And like you said, seems like Anthony Schwartz. It's a risk, but he may be there later for us to grab him. And I think, again, much like I said about the linebackers previously, our wide receiving core is better than our tight end group. So I would bolster the tight ends here with Kenny Yeboah.
Nice. Kimberly, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I agree. Let's get Kenny Yeboah now. And like we've been saying, maybe Schwartz is available at 154, then we can grab him then. But at this point, let's get the best tight end we can possibly get, and that's Kenny Yeboah.
Nice. Max?
Yep, I agree. Yeboah.
Nice. All right, it looks like the chat is that way too. And somebody, I just missed it. Somebody had a great point. Great point. Watch2K99 says, edge isn't a need, it's a want, not compared to tight end. So, right, we should be getting one in this draft, but we did some work in free agency. We brought in Vinny Curry, a nice rotational guy. We brought in Carl Lawson. For all intents, might be a dominant edge rusher for us. We still got Zuniga and John Franklin Myers and Quinnen Williams and Jesus, these energy drinks. We also have Bryce Huff. So truth is, we're more well-stocked at the edge position right now, too. That's a good point. All right, so it looks like Kenny Yeboah, so he's coming from Mississippi to tight end, and let's keep an eye on Anthony Schwartz and see if he makes it to our next pick.
We got a super comment, too, in the mix from Steven.
Oh, Steven. Steven is this is Sack Exchange from Twitter. BKLYN 99 or 929. Sorry. Let's see what he has to say. This year's draft should be all about supporting Zach Wilson, period. Don't mind losing games 35-28 as long as the rookie quarterback is developed properly. I never heard it said better.
That's absolutely perfect. I would give pieces of my body to see what it's like to score 28 points on the regular.
Yeah.
When was the last time? Listen, man, I don't want to divulge that kind of information.
Which pieces, though, John? How bad you want it, buddy?
All right, I'll give. I mean, I would give both baby toes for sure, because you don't even really need those. Those are mostly just for show, so that you look. And I don't wear open-toed shoes. You know what I mean? So like, who needs those? I need this team to I need this team to score 28 points on the regular. I'm tired of seeing second halves where they don't even have 28 fucking yards.
Oh my God. How bad was last season? It was right. It was like we couldn't even, it was like, it was the worst. I mean, that was worse than the Rich Kotite years. Like, yes, we won less games in Kotite's 2 years than Gase, but it was a totally different thing. We were competitive. We were a decent 1-15 team, if you could say that. But it's like the Gase years, it was like watching molasses roll down a tree.
Oh yeah,
That's
John fell asleep during like 2 games this season. No, it was just that bad. Yeah,
I did. Yeah. It was so boring. It was so boring. I was sitting there drinking coffee, trying to have food, and then like I look over, like Max looks over. He's like, "Yo, are you sleeping?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I must have dozed off." It was unwatchable. It was unwatchable. And like, you know, everybody in the chat knows like football is appointment TV. Your favorite team plays once a week. They play for a quarter of the year. You don't want to miss games. I don't want to fall asleep. Plus, me and Max living in LA, we had to pay for Sunday ticket to watch this fucking mess. It's like $300 to watch Adam coach the Jets. Oh my God, what an embarrassment.
Worst. The embarrassment. Dude, I was running live streams during the games. I wasn't allowed to fall asleep. We'd be sitting there and I'm like, what quarter is it? And they're like, it's the second. I'd be like, oh my. I'm muted. I got it. I caught it. Thank you for the super chat, Steven. I agree. So look, guys, Anthony Schwartz made it.
Sure did.
I'm going to simplify this and try to catch up a little bit of time. And I'm going to grab Anthony Schwartz. And I want to point out, chat, this is a little tiny lesson in playing with the board. So watching the board, seeing the tendencies. Of course, this is a simulator and we have ratings, and the NFL teams don't have that, but they do a similar exercise where they're looking at the teams, their needs, and what tendencies are likely to take place from each team, so they can make educated guesses on which players will slip and which players will not. So that's why taking Kenny Yeboah was a wise move, and we're going to get Anthony Schwartz anyway. If we would have taken Anthony Schwartz, Kenny Yeboah would not be here. So this was an excellent choice from everybody. Well done. And here he comes.
All right.
There he is.
Nice. We got our guy to take the top off the defense. I saw a chat too. Somebody told me in the chat that pro day speed from Anthony Schwartz was lasered. It wasn't a hand click. So there you go. That 4.26 was accurate. Not bad. Not bad. So, okay, guys, let's take a look real quick to catch up.
Amazing.
We got a quarterback, 2 offensive linemen, a cornerback, a linebacker, a tight end, and a wide receiver. We have 3 picks left. 3 picks left. So we did not address edge. We didn't address edge. So let's take a look at those guys, see what we got here. Come on with this fucking thing. I know, man. It's just so funny that I'm the guy in charge of the technology right now, because it's just not the order of things. It's not the way it's supposed to be. Okay, edge. Here he goes.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Demukaji and Shakatoni are both still there. Both guys worth taking. Chauncey Golston's another one worth taking. So no, I thought it was Patrick Jones. Patrick Johnson, little foolery.
This has no actual intellectual value, but I can't take anybody who plays defense that has the last name Golston.
Yeah.
Never again. Never forget.
That's right. Never forget. In his defense, it's Goldston, so it's a little different.
Okay.
But still, you say it the same, that's enough.
It's too close. Yeah, I know. I didn't think it was spelled the same, because I don't even think Vernon Golston ever had a jersey made by the Jets, but so I don't think I've ever seen his name actually spelled out. But yeah, no, it's too close for me. Just literally anybody else other than that person. Sorry, he's probably a nice guy. I don't care.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So here's a couple tidbits for everybody. Safety is another position that we might want to look at, with Marcus May more than likely only being here one more year. We did sign LaMarcus Joyner, but he's also looking like a 1-year guy. He only has a 1-year contract. We have Ashton Davis, but it is a position that we might want to look at if the value's there. We have Divine Diablo and Paris Ford are both still on the board, so it's something to think about. Diablo is not going to be there much longer. So Demukaji's here for edge. We have Divine Diablo at safety. And then we could also look at maybe some pipeline offensive linemen as well, or cornerbacks too. We could take a look at the cornerbacks. Getting another cornerback in here wouldn't be the worst idea. So Carrie Vincent, great nickelback, is still sitting there. I don't know why the hell they have him at 199. But he's there nonetheless. So what does the chat say? So guys, let us know what position you're thinking of grabbing right now. And I'll flip it over to Kimberly. Do you have any ideas on position? You want to finally get your edge rusher?
I think I do at this point. Yeah, with Victor Demucci, I feel like I butchered that, but yeah, sure did. Yeah, that. I want to go with. I want to go with him. I think it's time to get that edge rusher. Because I feel like if we don't, he's going to be gone immediately. So I think that's the direction I want to go into. Right.
I think that's well said. Max, any thoughts?
I don't see how you pass on a guy with the name Divine Diablo. That's a guy. For sure. Take him 100%. I haven't even seen any of his tape. Take him for sure.
Max,
well, you know what?
I cannot agree more.
You know what's interesting about his name? His parents actually named him Divine specifically to be the counterbalance to his last name, which is Devil. So they actually did that. That's a purposeful little tactic by his parents to kind of spiritually equalize him. Isn't that interesting?
I thought they were just like big fans of that old actor or actress Divine, from the 70s or 80s.
That could be in there as well. That could be there. I'm not sure.
I just think GreenBean to agree with you. I think safety depth is important with a guy like Joyner not going to be around long. You don't know what's going on with Marcus May after the year. You don't know if Ashton Davis is a player. All of that makes complete logical sense. Also, though, I completely agree with Max because that name is fantastic. And it reminds me of one of the names from like the Key and Peele sketch when they just did all the crazy, outlandish football player names. And it's too good to pass up. Like, how do you not want a guy named Divine Diablo on your team?
That's like an XFL name, like all for it. All for it.
And you know what's interesting is he's actually really good too.
Oh, good.
And I want to point out with all this fun we're having with his name, M.I. Amos just said Divine Diablo is so good it's almost sinful.
Oh,
I love this chat. I'm a big fan of the Green Bean Army. I love it.
Same. You guys
they're on top of stuff. All right, so here's the choices right now. We're going to go ahead and make the choice Victor Demukaji or Divine Diablo for a little fun. Let us know which ones you think. We have not addressed either position. I will say this just to put it into the ether. I do think we should grab a kicker at some point. So we have 3 picks left. If one of those is a kicker, we really only have 2 picks, and this is one of them. So let's try to figure out which position we think we need more, safety or edge rusher, Victor Demukaji or Divine Diablo. Let's hear it.
You know what? I think we should have taken a kicker at 23. I think we messed up, guys. I think we
I was just going to say that, Max. You and I have been literally sharing a brain on the last 2 comments. I was about to say, can we start this whole thing over again and just draft Mike Nugent in the 2nd round again? Can we just do that?
Well, I'm going to say this. John Post, one of my moderators, says this. Green Bean Army, I love it. Print the shirts. And I just got a vision in my head of a symbol with G, B, and A. I'm doing it. So who just said that? Was that Max?
That was me, but I don't want to cut it all. I want it all to go to you.
Thank you. That's really nice. I really appreciate that. And I was thinking of cutting you in.
That's fine. It's fine. I don't want it.
I'll take Max's cut and credit if you want to give it away.
There you go. Thanks, John. John, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the idea. That was great. That was a really good idea.
You're welcome. Anytime, man. Anytime.
All right, so let's see what we're looking at here. I'm seeing, it looks to me like Diablo's actually winning, man. That's what I'm seeing.
No, come on, guys.
I know.
Come on.
I know. There's a few edges. Yeah, I mean, it's not even a contest. Diablo's got it.
Oh, man.
Let's go ahead and let's take them and see where we end up, Kimberly. I'm with you.
All right.
We have a super comment that you may want to consider before you make the pick. I think it still should be Divine Diablo, but you just want to check that out.
Oh, okay. Tony Pauline says the Jets like Ben Mason, fullback. This offense relies on fullback. I saw that too. And out of the guys who report on the Jets, Tony Pauline has been the most accurate over the last 2, 3, 4 years. So that's it lends itself toward the idea that there might be some truth there. My thought is they're going to want to see what Wesco looks like there first, rather than using a pick on fullback. But let's take a look and see if Ben Mason is still there. Let's go ahead and look at the running backs. But we're going to pick Divine Diablo anyway, I think.
I will say, I feel like Jets like Jimmy just changed my mind by saying Divine Diablo, pick 6, Trevor Lawrence, just so you know. And now that I know, I think I've changed my mind.
There you go. That's all it took. Yeah, Divine Diablo comes out of Virginia Tech. He's known as a very hard-hitting guy, but he's also known as being close to the ball. So he has that nose for where the ball's going from the safety position, and he does have a few picks, and his hands are very good, unlike his role model, which is Jamal Adams. So he models his game around Jamal Adams, except he decided that he's going to catch when the ball hits him in the face, and unlike Jamal Adams. So that's good. Well, Ben Mason's going to be there. Let's take a look. And so, oops, I didn't mean to do that. So let's take a look and see if Ben Mason might be our next pick before we take a kicker. So we're going to go ahead and grab Divine Diablo because that is what the chat has said, and Max really likes him. So we're going to go ahead and do that.
Sure does.
There he goes.
Yep, Divine. He is Divine, isn't he, guys?
He is. So let's take a look. Our next pick is, where is our next? 186, I think it is.
186, yeah.
Oh, look, Nick Eubanks. I love that guy. He's a very raw tight end, but he's going to end up being one of the better tight ends in this class. Let's see. Oh, look at all the offensive linemen go. And there goes Trey McKitty, another good tight end.
Wow, he went late.
He did.
Wow.
I know sometimes these simulators, they're big board. It confuses me sometimes. And it's funny because if you go over to another simulator, it'll be almost opposite. But so who knows? But we can only play what's in front of us, right? So thank you, Chris. I do appreciate that super chat. And we're going to add Ben Mason to our next pick here. So that's going to be one of our choices. Do we want to go ahead and get ourselves a fullback who they say is the closest thing to the guy? What's the guy's name over in Juszczyk?
The guy who has the impossible looking name. Yes.
Yeah. Juszczyk over in San Francisco. They're saying if there's anybody that you can compare to Juszczyk, it would be Ben Mason. So that's an interesting point to make here. But let's take a look at the edge rushers and see if this would be the first time that we make it out of the draft without taking an edge rusher. But I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of names there I'm not that familiar with. I am familiar with Chris Rumpf, but I haven't done much work on any of these guys, so I can't even lend my opinion on any of them. Kimberly, I think you might be out of luck here.
I think so too. I think that ship has sailed, and I think who wants to get a kicker right now?
Yeah, there you go.
Let's entertain that idea for a second.
I know it has no bearing on this current team or even this current regime, but after drafting, defensive linemen, 15 years in a row, I'm okay with leaving one draft without grabbing an edge rusher.
I hear you.
Imagine that, right? All of our first round picks on defensive tackles over the years. Maybe we'll get out of the damn draft without a defensive lineman for once. So, I'm going to point something out, guys. There's a really good linebacker, Derek Barnes, out of Purdue, who's still there. There is a really good ball hawking nickel cornerback from LSU named Carrie Vincent, who is still there. So these are guys to consider. We didn't grab the cornerback that we did grab, Tyson Campbell, is actually more of an outside cornerback. So we didn't address the nickel position. So even though they both have the title of cornerback, they're really different positions. So we might want to consider a nickel. At the same time, that linebacker depth, we helped it, but we didn't take care of it. We didn't solve it. So that's something to consider as well. And then you can consider Ben Mason. So let's do this. Let's make our choice. Carrie Vincent, the nickelback, because I'm seeing people saying slot corner. Correct. I'm seeing a lot of Vincents, actually,
People have been calling for Vincent, I think maybe even going back 2 picks. Definitely 1 pick. His name has been coming up in the chat like crazy. And I think it's a good place to go, potentially.
I agree.
So there's another name, Mukamu, is one of our little favorites here. They have him listed as a safety, but he can play both. So let's just take a look and see if he's still there. I think he might be. There he is Israel Mukamu. He's there.
We also got a super chat from Jets by Jimmy.
Wow, Jimmy. Jimmy's going to pay my rent all by himself. Thank you, Jimmy. Let me see where it is. Let's see where it is. He's probably going to talk about how fast Carrie Vincent is. I know he's one of the guys he likes. For the first 6th-round pick, hear me out. Avery Williams, cornerback, return specialist. Avery Williams, better returner than Devin Hester. I said what I said. Yeah, it's funny. I was just checking him out last week. He's fantastic. He's at a Boise State, isn't he? Let me take a look. And Jimmy is a Boise State fan. So let's take a look. Let's take a look here. There he is. Yep, Boise State. So that's a choice too. So I'm gonna look. Just tell me who the fuck you guys want already. Is it?
You can tell that the 10 o'clock mock is into its almost into its 2nd hour, and we're not done yet. When GreenBean's like, you know what? Just fucking pick somebody. Yeah. I don't care.
There's so many. You know, it's funny. There's so many good names left too. So I'm going to leave it to the chat. We got Israel Mukamu, Carrie Vincent. We have Derek Barnes, and we have Ben Mason, the fullback. So let's pick one of those 4 guys and let me know what you want. I'm going to turn it over to John. Out of those 4 players, which one would you want?
You know, it's changing my philosophy about the last couple picks, because even before you mentioned it, I was all about taking a kicker probably with that last pick. I just think you need some competition. Our kicking has been horrendous since we let Myers walk, which was the dumbest thing anybody. I know he hasn't been great since. He's been a little up and down, but there was no reason to let that guy go when we did. But I'm kind of into the concept of Carrie Vincent here and seeing if Ben Mason is still around after the fact. He might not be, and then you can pivot to kicker. But I think Carrie Vincent here and, roll the dice on Ben Mason. Then if he's there with our final pick, you take the fullback there. So I think you take Carrie Vincent here and then Ben Mason later.
That's interesting. Right, guys, we don't have to take a kicker. Right. I mean, we like to, but we don't have to. We could wait for the undrafted free agents and see who's there and make the kicker our priority. So we don't have to. That's actually a very good point, John. I want to say something. Red Dog, one of my favorite buddies, said that he was blocked for a little while by someone, and he said it wasn't Nightbot. Maybe it was one of the mods. Red Dog, were you saying anything inappropriate? Anything about your pecker or anything like that? Because we don't go for that. Red Dog, though, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what happened there. I can tell you it wasn't me. That much I can confirm. I'll check with the mods afterwards. So I apologize about that. So another point, the guy that Jets by Jimmy just brought up, Avery Williams, somebody said he's 26 already, dog. So that is a little old for a draft pick.
Yeah.
What is he still in school? What is this? The water boy?
It's a God. Boise State is a medical school all of a sudden. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, Carrie Vincent's crushing it.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and take Carrie, Vincent. The chat has spoken. Here he comes. We got ourselves a nice nickel corner.
All right.
Nice. Final countdown.
Yeah, this is it. Derek Barnes is gone. See, I knew he wouldn't last long. There goes that running back, Jarrett Patterson. Everybody's gone now. Everybody's gone. Let's see if Ben Mason makes it, if we can even consider him. So I'm thinking, guys, let's make it this. Ben Mason, or we'll look at the kickers and see who's there. So I think Borregales was still there. Borregales is still there. Evan McPherson is still there. And Riley Patterson are all still there. So as of right now, we have our choice of kickers. Yep, and we're up. So was Ben Mason still there?
No, he was not. He's still there, I believe. Yep.
There he is. He's the second best running back on the board right now. So that's what we're doing, chat. Ben Mason, a fullback, or a kicker, Jose Borregales. What do you guys think? Or Evan McPherson. We could take either one. I don't care.
I think I would go with a kicker at this point. And yeah, I would go with a kicker.
What about you, Kimberly? What are you thinking?
I agree. I want to go with a kicker. I want to end it strong with a high kick. And as a former flight crew cheerleader, I would want nothing more than a high kicker to finish out this
there
round.
you go. A fucking high kicker. I like that. Now, if you guys didn't know, Kimberly was actually a member of our very own flight crew. Is that not true?
Yes, I did it for 5 seasons. So from 2013 to 2017, and then ended my career at the 2018 Pro Bowl.
That's so killer. You made it to the Pro Bowl.
I did. I was actually the only New York Jet there that year. So I didn't know all the players. I was the only New York Jet represented at the Pro Bowl that year. Mm-hmm.
That is fantastic. So, guys, here we were grumbling on the outside that we didn't have any Jets in the Pro Bowl, but little did we know, Kimberly was there representing our faithful franchise, the New York Jets. We didn't know that. Thank you for doing that, man. I appreciate that. I didn't know we had anybody in there that year.
Absolutely. It was such a dream come true and just a great way to end my career as an NFL cheerleader. So it was just such a huge honor for me.
Yeah. How was that experience real quick of being a flight crew member?
Absolutely incredible. Like, I've always wanted to dance professionally, and I've been a diehard Jets fan my whole life. But I never thought I would be a cheerleader. I never thought I would cheer in the NFL, let alone for my home team. So it was just such a dream come true, a complete honor. And just to be there with all the fans, it was absolutely an incredible experience.
Yeah, that's so cool. I tried out, but they didn't. It had to do with the high kicks. They didn't like I called it a low kick. They weren't buying it. Yeah, well, thank you for doing that. It's really cool, man. It's cool to have you here, knowing that you have that connection that I'm telling you, we don't see that very often in this realm. So that's really, really cool, man.
Thank you.
So, Max, do you have any thoughts on kicker versus Ben Mason?
Yeah, I'm gonna go kicker. Yeah, I would go kicker. I mean, right, I'm okay with Ben Mason too, though. You know, we could grab a kicker, like in free agency or an undrafted guy. It's always an opportunity. So I'm good either way.
Okay. So the three of you said kicker. I'm leaning kicker as well. I know, Chris Bucco, that's a good idea, and we tossed it around, but I think we're going to go kicker. I'm seeing some Evan McPhersons, but I'm going to go with Jose Borregales, the most accurate kicker in the nation this year. I'm making a call, and I'm doing it myself. Here it goes.
Go for it.
Jose Borregales. We're going to wrap this up, and we're going to take a look at what we've done tonight. I want to thank you guys for being here. This was just so much fun, man. I had a really good time with you guys. While we're waiting for our draft to kind of come up here, why don't you guys give a little plug for yourself? Any one of you can go ahead and just tell everybody where they can find you.
Who's going first?
Oh, shy. Go ahead.
I'll go first, okay? You can find me at Max Antonucci on Instagram and Twitter, but I don't use Twitter, so go to Instagram. I'm a stand-up comedian. Come see me.
Nice.
I guess I'll go next, and we'll save the best for last. You guys can find me at John Saponaro. I know that's kind of strange to spell, but you can find it right here under my name, wherever that's at. That's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the social medias. And of course, you got to follow the show that the three of us do together, which is called The Goddamn Jets. And that's at _Jets. We go live once a week. It's usually after the games. And then in the off season, we tend to go live on Friday night, but we are doing a special live on Thursday during the NFL draft, during round 1. So we'll see how close we got with those first 2 picks. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. Awesome. So, guys, like I said, they're a lot of fun. You guys can sense that and see that and feel that tonight. That's what they're bringing to the table. I thoroughly enjoy their show. I've been on it a couple times. One was an absolute disaster because of my, it's funny, guys, because there's actually a nickname for me because of my internet. With me traveling everywhere, I never know what my internet's going to be. And there's a little nickname for me. They call me Freeze Bean. So that's how often I have that issue. So, but anyway, guys, again, they are just a blast. They're a great show, and I highly recommend you go and check them out. Let's take a look at our draft. This is what we did together in our final Monday night 10 o'clock mock. We grabbed Zach Wilson, quarterback out of BYU. Then we went and grabbed Teven Jenkins, the offensive tackle from Oklahoma State. Followed that with Wyatt Davis, the guard from Ohio State. Went defense and grabbed a cornerback, Tyson Campbell, out of Georgia. Then we helped out our linebackers with Nick Bolton, the linebacker out of Missouri. Tight end, Kenny Yeboah. Little speedster wide receiver, Anthony Schwartz from Auburn. We went safety and picked the best name in the draft, Divine Diablo. Then we grabbed a slot cornerback, Carrie Vincent out of LSU. We wrapped that up with the most accurate kicker in the nation in 2020. So that said, I think this draft's pretty good. Let's get our letter grades up. Let us know what you think.
And Kim, don't forget to plug your social media, Kim.
I know.
Oh, did I not? I'm sorry. Did I jump you there?
GreenBean Army was like, let Kim go.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Which I appreciate all you guys out there. Yeah. You can follow me at Kimberly Cantoni on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm kind of all over the place, so make sure you just follow my journey. I'm also hanging out with these two guys every week at the Goddamn Jets. So, be sure to follow me on all the social media platforms at Kimberly Cantoni.
Yeah, awesome. And I do apologize about that, Kimberly.
That's okay.
A few folks have asked again in the chat what the handle is for our show, and it's actually in the scroll right now at the bottom. So it's the Goddamn Jets, but it's the _Goddamn Jets because Instagram's a nightmare and somebody else took the other one. So we just roll with that for now. And we do our show on Instagram Live. So following us there is the best way to see it every week. We do repost it to YouTube. We go live right on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, awesome. That's right, guys. It's in the scroll. In the description for this video, I have all their personal information, like all their specific. I'm tired. What is it called? The ones that they just gave you all that
social
info.
media.
That. It's all there.
I was like, wait, what kind of personal information do you have in the description for this?
I know. I hated the way that came out.
I'm single, 6 foot, and I'm doing okay downstairs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Walks on the beach, all that jazz.
Yeah, I'm a Libra, if anybody is into that.
Yeah, so I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing some A's, some A minuses, a lot of B's, B plus, B, but I don't see any C's or D's or F's, and that's a good move. Kimberly, which letter grade would you give our draft that we just did tonight?
I would give us an A- only because I didn't get my edge rusher. That would have been an A, but I think we did a solid job. This is a solid draft. If this is the way it goes on Thursday and throughout the weekend, it would have been, I think this is solid. So A-, guys.
There you go. What about you, Max?
I'm going to give it an A. I'm going to give it a solid A. I think we did a good job here, Green Bean Army. I think we did fantastic.
Awesome. John, what do you think?
Oh, A++. I think that the way the Jets have drafted for the past 10 years, they should just let us run the draft. The four of us and everybody else in the comments, we should do the draft. We should pick this exact draft the way that it was, because the Jets don't do better than we just did. How dare they even think that they might come close to being this good at it? Come on.
That's right. And I know Bob Kraut is just tired in the chat and he's being a little grumbly. He's saying we didn't really do too well. I disagree, Bob. I love you, man. You're here every week. You're the best. But I disagree. I'm going ahead and giving this, just like John, I'm slamming an A+ down. I think that this is the best draft that we've done in the entirety of the Monday night 10 o'clock mock. I think this was fantastic. And just to wrap this up, the word I was looking for, KSC nailed it. I was looking for the word links when I was That's it. So we have one more super chat to cap this. Thank you, Amarello. I appreciate it. John Amarello says, out of the 19 Monday night mocks, our top 5 players were, wow, you collected all this. Number 5, Diablo. Number 4 with 7. Number 4, Creed Humphrey with 8. Number 3, Carrie Vincent with 9. Number 2, Wyatt Davis with 10. And Zach Wilson tied with Wyatt Davis for 10.
Wow.
Dude, that is awesome that you did that, John.
Yeah, thank you, John.
I didn't even do that. So, this is what is so cool to have you guys around, man. Really. It's like that is good information that I never would have known. I would have just started talking and making shit up. I don't mind. I'll just be all convincing and go, this is what it was. And people go, really? And I don't have any stats, but I just talk.
He's a 3-star general in the GreenBean army, if you ask me.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. That's pretty awesome. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. So, guys, we are going to wrap this up. It is 12:06 a.m. Eastern time. That means it is 9:06 for Max and John. It took me 2 hours, but I finally re-identified the 3-hour window between West Coast and East Coast time. So I want to thank the goddamn Jet Show for being here. You guys were truly awesome. This was an absolute blast. And let's have a great draft this week. Thank you, chat. I will see you whenever I see you, because we don't have next week. Let's just see each other at the draft on Thursday night. But thanks, everybody, for being here. Have a great night.
Peace.
Bye.
So I'll give you the lineage of just one situation for Adam Schefter, and then you tell me if you buy this bullshit that he's saying right now. So Adam Schefter told us a few months back, Sam Darnold was going to net us a 2nd and a 5th. Remember? He said a 2nd and a 5th. Then some shake-up happened, and everybody started talking, and they said Sam Darnold has all kinds of people calling. The teams are motivated. They want Sam Darnold. Adam Schefter comes on the radio show and says, I think, honestly, he's going to get a late 1st-round pick. That's what I think. Pittsburgh, that kind of Saints, in that realm. So he went from 2nd and 5th to 1st. He's riding the waves. That's all he's doing. He's riding the waves. Now, I heard earlier this morning, they're talking 4ths and 5ths. These guys ride the waves, and they all try to pretend that they know something. They don't know anything, especially when it comes to Joe Douglas.